Mythics, how are we? Merry Missmas to you too. Yes, we're in December now. Woohoo! December. Where did the time go? Where did the year go? We are going to be talking about creativity, fantasy, and of course we're going to be talking about your creative projects. We're going to be talking about my creative projects. And Grockle just going to be hanging out. He's going to be listening in, adding to the chat. Grockle from the Bottled Imp YouTube channel. If you've not checked that out, go check it out. We've got over 450, yes, 450 episodes online right now for you to binge. We did fantasy film reviews, fantasy board game reviews, and fantasy book reviews. And the reason why I say we did is we don't really add to it anymore because time. Hello, Martha. I'm very well, thank you. How are you? Good morning, Jonathan, sir. I think you deserve a salute. Don't know why. I always think you're older than me, Jonathan, don't I? I think it's because I feel like you're more mature than I am, or you appear more mature. I know the real secrets. Good freezing evening, Ken and Grockle. Alcohol. That's a fantastic statement to open up with, Lerin. Good evening to you. Oh no, Martha's still sick and super weak. Oh, bless you. Do you eat soup? Is that a good thing to eat? I think soup is... It's one of those things psychologically, if you're feeling weak and sick and it's winter time, just having soup seems to really kind of perk you up. Or because I am older than you. Are you actually older than me? That might be the answer then. That could just be the answer, that you actually are older than me. I always thought that... I'm getting to the age now where I just think I'm older than everyone. I am 51, yes. Yes. I just kind of assume, because I do a little joke where that everyone's older than me, you know. But for years... How old are you then? Like 50... Oh, you're 53? Ah, it's close. Yeah, it's close. It's close. Well, do you know what? That is comforting to know. But the thing is, I always look back, and if I don't have many regrets in life, but one is not pursuing writing much earlier. I kind of did. I dabbled with it when I was a teenager and then in my early 20s, and then I just didn't do anything. And those decades that went past, I could have been building up, like Jonathan, building up an audience. But I have seen some memes recently on Facebook saying about, you know, Tesla or whoever, you know, like Colonel Sanders started KFC at 53. You know, Henry Ford started Ford in, you know, when he was 62 or whatever it was, you know, 48. So, you know, you've kind of just, wherever you are in life, you've just got to keep doing it. You know, you just start doing it. It means I can claim my teacher's pension in 2 years' time. Oh, hallelujah, Jonathan. Ka-ching! That is good, yeah. Is that what it is then, 55? Because because I work in a school part-time, not as a teacher. Well, sometimes as a teacher. Sometimes I do non-qualified teaching, which is great. Just make a poster. No, I have taught English and a bit of drama. And I have, creative writing I've taught, and also at one point I taught computing, which was a first for me, but it was very basic. It was year 7, so it's very basic computing. So, so I should have. I've got a pension there. I didn't. So I'm assuming that support staff and also teaching, so everything's 55 to get a pension, presumably. I don't know. But anyway, that's fantastic news. So, yeah. So how are we all? We're all pretty good, apart from Martha, who's feeling a bit weird. A bit sick, I should say. Martha slept most of yesterday. Wow. I didn't eat anything yesterday. Didn't have the appetite for it. That is the other thing when you're ill. Sometimes you just don't feel like eating. And that's like, yeah, I just feel like you do have to just listen to your body. And if that's what your body's telling you. Yeah. Oh, it's time for the cardigan. Get me cardigan. I've had this cardigan like 20 years or something. It's great. It's one of my favourite cardies. Oh, look at that. Lyrian's going to see Wicked the movie. 1, he loved the play. 2, Michelle Yeoh, I don't know how you pronounce her name, sorry, Yeoh, the Lady Jackie Chan, is in the film. 3, my oldest nephew was literally born the morning after my brother-in-law took my sister to see Wicked in 2008. I love the very tenuous connection there at the end. Well, have a lovely, lovely time. Apparently it's meant to be really good. Apparently they've stuck pretty faithfully to the musical, which I think is the wise thing to do. If you're adapting a musical, why change it? If the musical was such a hit, why change stuff? I know Hollywood's, for some reason, the last 5-10 years, they've been going through this binge of just changing everything, and like, why? If you've got a great source material, why change things? So yeah, so have a good time. Have a good time. Let us know how you get on. Yeah, what I was going to talk about today. So I was just going to talk about, obviously, projects, and projects versus life. Projects versus life. So in the last 3 months, it's been quite tricky for me, life-wise. As some of you know, I have said this before, my dad's wife fell down the stairs, and she's like in her late 70s. She broke loads of bones, and then she went to hospital. They, patched her up or whatever, and then she caught pneumonia, which then set her back. Meanwhile, my dad had to go into a care home, and because he could walk, he could get about, but he needed a bit of a frame to walk with. But they were still living together, they were still, she was kind of looking after him, cooking his meals and that, but that was fine. It was sort of okay. And then he had to go into a home, but of course he deteriorated. And then, and now he was out of the home, he went back home, and that seemed to be fine. But then, because she had pneumonia, she had to go back into hospital, so Dad had to go back into a care home. In fact, we put him in a different care home. And then while he was in the care home, he had a real life-threatening scare. Like they rushed him into hospital and he had 2 blood clots. 2 blood clots on his lungs. Imagine that. And so, that was scary. That was touch and go. That was basically touch and go. Luckily, they could manage to clear it out like some pipes, like you put into drains when they're blocked. And that managed to clear them. And it's interesting how things are all connected. Dad had become quite, I don't know about grumpy, because he was kind of always grumpy anyway. Oh, hello, Sally. She's in her early 80s. We can edit that bit together. Teacher pension, yes, exactly. One of the reasons I'm hanging in there. Yeah, exactly. Hello, Sally. I didn't see you there. Hello. So they discovered it, and once they cleared it out, Dad's personality changed. He's much chipper, he was chirpier, he was actually eating food because he didn't really want to eat loads. His energy levels are up. Now I know that seems obvious, but we didn't know he had blood clots, so you wouldn't, it'd be like, oh, Dad's just kind of not eating much, and a bit worried, mate, why is that? But now we know. So Dad's still in the care home, but he's doing well. So Sally and I are gonna go and visit him Sunday. I haven't told him that yet. I need to phone him. So Martha says I'm taking penicillin to stop my strep throat. It makes me feel weak. Oh, bless you. And Sally, hi, Lyrian. Hope the film lives up to expectations. Gosh, thumb typing is a lot slower than Snoopy keyboard. Absolutely. Yeah, everything is better with Snoopy. Everything. Even Snoopy is better with Snoopy. So, yeah, the reason why I told you all of that is, thank you very much. So, here, Martha, your penicillin can make you feel rough, yeah. Is that, it's that sort of selfish bit in me as well that goes, oh, I've got this to deal with, but I've got my stuff to do. But I've got this to deal with, but I've got my stuff to do. Now, obviously, dealing with your dad and all of that, and emergencies are more important than your creativity. However, creativity doesn't just go away, and this is kind of, if people are not creative, I don't think they fully understand. You can't just turn on and off creativity. It's there kind of all the time. You create. That's part of your makeup. That's just how it works. So it's really difficult, in situations like that. And then I had other things like my car needed repairing. It was a nightmare. My toilet was leaking. I had about 6 things all happen in a 2-month period that just was really relentless. And I think my advice to you is just keep going. Just keep going. But also don't be hard on yourself if you can't get stuff done. There's one thing if it's your main job, because that kind of has to keep going. So, for example, Jonathan, you're writing, that's your main job. But I guess with me, it's not my main job. So, I'm fortunate in some respects to be able to put it on the back burner. But then I'm still aware of it and I still want to create. So, and also it's quite healthy to keep creating because it kind of takes you away from your situation in your real life. So sometimes doing that might seem a bit selfish, but it's kind of helping you out mentally. The funny thing I find that when you think out loud, talk to yourself, ideas tend to come out clearer. Yeah, I'd say that's for me. That's true as well. Though unless you're soft about it, you draw a lot of unwanted stress. Yeah, I think you do just have to go, look, there's only so much I can do, and if this is very important, family is very important, friends are very important, So, and also I've been just clearing out this ongoing tidying of my place, clearing out books that I don't want or books that I can't have space for anymore. That's been going on for ages. So I've got a big pile of boxes in the living room. But that's nice. But then for a while it was all very messy, and I'm not one who really likes to live in mess. I find it doesn't do well for my mind. So to get that tied up, so I spent a large proportion of yesterday doing that. And as a creative person, tidying up is the least creative thing you can do, or one of them. So to actually have to do it, you think, I could have spent that day working on the game book. However, sometimes your priorities have to change a bit. So there we go. So that's kind of the last couple of months have been quite hectic for me, but luckily we're into smoother, calmer waters, which is good. Which is good because it does mean I can focus once again on my projects. And my main project is my game book. Devilish Deaths to Kill a Thief. It's really good now in terms of I've just sort of focused back into it. And I have written, I think I told you last week, was it? Or I sent out an update on the Kickstarter. So if you did back the Kickstarter, then you will know this already. But I've done over 200 entries now in terms of plotting. I've not written them, but I've plotted them. And that seems to work out about halfway through the novel. I'm aiming for, say, 400 to 500 entries. And just the way that the plot works out, there's a natural halfway point, like a natural respite. So you're kind of working towards something, and then halfway through, you kind of resolve it. And then you've got the next act. So I guess it's a book in 2 acts, like a play. Jonathan talks to the dog. So your dog gets your creative news first. When you decide which game book to write next, you're like, and your dog Conker just looks up at you and goes, yeah, just gives you that nod of approval. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Grocklesnook, I'll chat to him. We discuss my ideas. In fact, he is the mastermind behind it all. I don't write anything. He dictates to me. So there you go. That'd be quite fun. Grocklesnook, the storyteller. He's like the narrator. So I've done over 200 entries of plotting, and I think I said this before, I've done little symbols just so I can look at a glance and say, oh yeah, look, I've got enough fighting going on, I've got enough tests for stealth, I've got enough, sleight of hand tests, I've got enough, combat, I've got enough whatever's in there. So it's really cool to actually put little symbols on it as well. So I'm very happy that I thought of that. Lee Rin has said, so Jonathan, do you also have pocket-sized notebook in your jacket so flights of fancy don't fly away and leave the wind? I once written down literally close to the chest. That's a very good question. I don't tend to have a notebook, although I should really. Although, look, saying that, I've got one here. I tend to... I don't know, I'm fairly good at remembering ideas. But I tend to then write them down on scraps of paper. I would love to be somebody who carried a notebook round. But I like writing on big bits of paper. Although saying that, I've just opened up this. This is, I hadn't realised, I forgot about this. This is the murder mystery notes, the very first notes that I made for my murder mystery game. Casino 1920s. 6 gamblers are playing blackjack in high-class casino when suddenly one of them slumps forward. There you go. And so then I've written out who the characters are. That's really interesting. I hadn't known that. So there we go. So, yeah. So over 200 of the entries have been written. I'm aiming for another 200 entries. And then I think, though, I don't know if you find this, Jonathan or Jam or whoever has written a game book. I don't think Jam's watching. Where's Jam? Come on, Jam. I hope he's all right. That the plotting stage, do you feel like the plotting stage is the hardest part of writing a game book? Because that's the thinky bit. That's where you're trying to go, right, what comes next? Look at my plot, okay, what comes next? Or the story. And then you have to make sure it all matches. And then also you have to layer in some puzzles, I guess. If you want to put puzzles in there, you have to make sure it's balanced. I.e., is there enough stealth? Is there enough, whatever, tests put in there? Is there a game in the game book? Have you actually put a game in there, or is it all just branching narrative? And then writing the entries is much easier because you just look at your guide and go, right, what's the next entry? Oh, okay, yeah, you enter the sewers. Right, brilliant. Okay, right, so it's dark, it's dank, you hear a drip, drip, drip. It's that. I would find that writing it must be easier than plotting and planning it. Jonathan's put here, no, sometimes I make notes on my phone. Oh, I've done that. But then I forget that I've done it. Oh, sometimes I do voice recordings, and I have a lot of A4 notebooks on my desk. Yeah, A4 seems to be a good size. It just flows better. The trouble is that I write something in one book and then something in another one, and then I lose it. Yes, exactly. I've got different notebooks with different notes in. What I've done recently, I've just found I use a lot of these now. A lot of these wallets, A4 wallets. Because then I can put everything of that project into that wallet. Sometimes that spans into 2 or 3 wallets, but, it's all there. So that at least I know, oh, it's going to be in one of these wallets. And I just found a wallet that said, I put an A4 bit of paper in that said, board game ideas. Because I write them on loads of scraps of paper. So it's like, oh yeah, that's a good system because it's in a folder now. So if I'm thinking, right, what shall I work on next? There it is. Martha's put here, being sick is the worst. I'm coughing so much. No, bless you. Is it worth going to your GP, Martha? Go see the doctor? Indiana Jones is put it in best journal. Oh, hang on, what? Indiana Jones is put it best junior. Oh, hang on. I can't read. Indiana Jones put it best junior. I can't do an American accent. Junior. I write it down so I don't have to remember. Yeah, that is kind of... I'm like that. I write stuff down so I don't have to remember. I prefer ring-bound pucker pads. Ooh. Ooh. That's because you earn the big bucks, Jonathan. I do end up putting notes in a folder. Yeah, that's what I've done with the Arkham Horror books. Yeah, I just find putting it in a folder, it also means I can put... If it's a board game, I can put like the tokens that are needed for the game as well. But when I make prototypes, I use the hard folders, just because they're thicker and also tokens don't fall out. They might fall out of those. So yeah, so I am really ready now to start. So the next phase of the game book is to finish the plotting and then start writing. So I'm hoping to finish the plotting before Christmas. I think that's a good deadline for me because obviously I'm not working on this full time. And then to definitely start writing the book or finishing the book. So I've written 30 entries already. Finish writing the book. You know, start it in January, and then hopefully January, February. Hopefully finish it January, February time. Then I need some play testers, and then get feedback. Ask Sally if she would kindly proofread it, and then, you know, get it all sorted for May 2025, which is exciting. Can't do an American accent, neither could Sean Connery. Oh, that's true. Yeah, because he played his dad, didn't he? And I love the fact that in Highlander he was playing a Spanish. He was a Scots person playing a Spanish guy speaking Scots. And what's the guy Lambert wasn't he Danish or something? Meant to be Scottish. Martha's put I've been to ER a week ago, and the meds for this since the doctors didn't listen to me. Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, that's good. At least you're kind of taking action. Speaking of which, I'm going to look out, says Lerin, for the 2025 page-a-day hardback journal in preparation for next year. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, do you actually write a journal then of what you do? That's pretty cool. Oh, what? He was an Egyptian? Christopher Lambert. Oh, was he Egyptian, not Spanish? I don't know. Christopher Lambert is French, playing a Scotsman. Yeah, that was it. It was crazy. Both of them weren't playing their own accent. Christopher French playing a Scottish Highlander. That's what I use for my daily to-do list. Oh, do you? Yeah, I've got my diary that I tend to write what to do. Although I've not written a to-do list for ages. I've just found some to-do lists. And that's mainly because I've got too much to do. Ironically. Sean Connery was an Egyptian who worked for the Spanish court. Oh, I see. That's even more confusing. Sean Connery, who's Scottish, played an Egyptian who worked for the Spanish court, but neither spoke Spanish nor Egyptian and sounded Scottish. That's beautiful. Whereas Christopher Lambert was a Frenchman who played a Scottish Highlander who didn't sound Scottish. But you know what? Somehow it works. I think it's just such a good film that you kind of overlook it. The concept is cool. So there we go. So that is Devilish Dilemmas. And I'm still wanting to do the idea of doing a deck of cards that has everything you need. So the monsters, the objects, the incantation spells, the sleep encounters and the encounters at the back of the book. Only for convenience. Great things. Yeah. Only for convenience. Because... Oof, got the hiccups for some reason. Come on, is that you, Grucklesnut? Giving me the hiccups? He's a mischievous little imp. Only because when we played You Are the Hit... No, what was it? Choose Your Own Adventure board game, it all came on cards. And I kind of really liked that because I didn't have to write anything down. So I was thinking, yeah, maybe I could do something like that. You still read the book and you don't need the cards. The book, you know, you just suffice with the book. However, if you just wanted to go, right, I'm fighting the foul goblin. Right, here we go. And then it just says, right, okay, and it has the stats on it. Would I have to draw the objects, though? Oh, what do you think? You'd be disappointed if you didn't see the objects, wouldn't you? Yeah, I've just thought of that. That's an whole extra bit of work. Let me know. Would it be disappointing if you didn't see a goblin? A foul goblin? Would it be disappointing to not see the stiletto knife? Short sword? You know what a short sword looks like. Or would you expect there to be a little illustration? Yeah. Still have yet to try haggis. Oh, Lirim, you are in for a treat. Haggis is beautiful. In England, after Highlander piqued my interest in which Christopher Lambert calling Sean Connery said delicacy in jest. Yes. Well, haggis is actually Scottish, hence why the Sean Connery connection. But it is lovely. It is lovely. I'm not sure. Can you get it in England? I think possibly you can. Oh, I'm sure you can. You used to be able to, because my mum and dad, everybody in my family is Scottish apart from me and my brother. We were born in England. And my mum used to buy haggis for us. It was just like one of those sort of weekly meals, really. Good thing I didn't scare my driving teacher by imitating Kirk's hilarious driving. Yeah, they wouldn't have been too impressed. Or take a leaf out of the Blues Brothers. So the other thing that I really want to do in this game book is to, because you start off in the capital city here of Ferrum's Forge, capital city, which is here, and it's right next to the Dragon Spine Mountains. So it's there. I have yet to draw a map of Ferrum's Forge. So I want to not only put this in the front of the book, but also put the map of Ferrum's Forge into the book. I've never done that before. And that, you know, everyone likes a good map, don't you? We all love a good map. So for me, that's pretty exciting because, again, I'm exploring my own world of Edra. And so the more books you write and the more content, that's a horrible word. The more you write and the more you explore it, then obviously the more I'm finding out about it. So that's pretty cool. So that is my game book. So I've been kind of mainly focusing on that. Last night, I mean, I did a bit of an impulsive thing. I've been tidying up all day. I've been working on my Devilish Deaths game as well, the board game there. However, I have been promising to put Of Magic and Monkeys up onto Amazon as a paperback and do print on demand that way. So I bit the bullet because I've done the Legends of Grimace Ironblood is actually on there. So I have done it, but I remember it being a load of hassle last time, just lots of hassle. So it's kind of put me off. However, I think they've refined their service and how it gets uploaded and all of that. And so they're a bit more in tune with how we want to work, you know. So I have started to put Of Magic and Monkeys up onto Amazon. At one point this night, I got so dizzy that I fell asleep in the... Oh no, you fell asleep on the bathroom floor. Oh no, Martha. Does your mum and dad know about this? You know, you got people that are checking up on you, yeah? Make sure people know that you're ill so they can keep an eye on you. Yeah, so I began the process of uploading and I've uploaded the cover. That was fine. And then I had to make a few adjustments to the actual inside of the book. Like, because here I've put which printer has printed it, so I've taken that off. I've put hardback edition published in 2023, paperback edition 2024. Just minor little changes like that. And I'm having trouble uploading the interior of the content. The PDF doesn't seem to want to upload. It just goes on that wheel of death. I've tried it a few times now, and it's not too big for them. 650 megabytes. This is 128, so it should be uploading. So don't get it, Amazon. So anyway, hopefully I'll be able to resolve that issue today, and we will be launching Of Magic and Monkeys, the paperback, because this is the hardback, in the next couple of days. I'm hoping just in time for Christmas. Just in time for Christmas. We've all been there, yeah. Maybe for a different reason, Sally. Maybe for a different reason. Yes, both know. That deserves a. Yes, both know, and I wanted to ask Mum for help today. Oh, okay, good. If she finds the time, good. I'm glad people are looking after you, Martha. Because obviously, it's great that we all know each other and we all live in different parts of this country, the UK, but we also live, there's other people like Lerin and Martha that live in other countries. But if we know information, it's like, we can't get to you, we can't help you. So it's good to know that you're being looked after, maybe. Well, I once got so drunk that I fell asleep whilst eating a curry. And my head went into my curry. And of course, in true drunk fashion, I just went, hey, right, hey, oh look, oh that's nice, look at that, curry, and just carried on eating it. And I also got so drunk one time, I did fall asleep in the public toilets, and I actually fell asleep on the toilet. Luckily, what was genius about that was I fell asleep on the toilet. Because I remember my mate coming in after me, not into the cubicle. He used the urinal. And then when I woke up, I don't know how long, a couple of minutes later, did finish my business and then went out again. My mate Danny was, he'd fallen asleep in the urinal. So he was like just perched on the urinal. Asleep. Which was brilliant. Speaking of, the reason we became friends was your first book. Oh, yes, exactly. That is it, Martha, yeah. The Legends of Grimace Ironblood. Well, weirdly enough, I've not sold a copy of that online on Amazon for years because I don't advertise it. I kind of forgot I put it up there, to be honest, as well. So I really need to start promoting it again, like Jonathan does. And, well, Jonathan doesn't promote my books. Obviously, why would he? I don't pay him to do that. Promotes his own books. Somebody bought a copy. I just got an email from Amazon saying you've sold a book. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I know that person. Don't know them. They've just looked on Amazon and found my book, which I think is amazing. Unless they do know me, but I'm not I don't know them, if that makes sense. They might have seen it on the Bottled Imp. I don't know. I really don't know how they came across it. But that's really cool. So it's kind of given me, it's nice. Just one book. I mean, I'm not going to get rich off of that at all. Just one sale has really perked me up. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to put Of Magic and Monkeys on there. I'm going to put Of Magic and Monkeys. So it's given me a little boost. Which is amazing. So this is the thing. If you're an independent publisher, an independent, games maker, or independent creative, but it only takes a small amount of people to make you feel good and to carry you forwards into your next project. So, just remember that. I'm sure you know it already. I'm just preaching to the same choir, whatever they say. So tidying up my living room has been very good for me, very cathartic. Plus, I've put everything in order now, and I've come across projects that I'm still working on, and it's like, yeah, it's a lot of projects. I've got my bee game. Do you remember my bee game? That is close for me to pitching it, to be honest. I'm very close to pitching it. So over the Christmas holidays, I think I'm going to start getting the pitch sheet together, record a video, that kind of thing, which would be really cool. And do the rules, because what I'm going to do, see, at the moment I've just got the rules typed out, on an A4 bit of paper, but I'm going to do the rules, that shape, print them out like that. How cool would that be? So I've got my bee game that I want to pitch next year. I guess this is where my brain starts thinking, because we're coming into December, it's like, well, what's happening next year? Then, I don't know if anyone remembers this game, Those People. Remember that game? It's a sort of ranty game that I have pitched to one publisher already. They liked it, but they said it wasn't quite for them. It has got swearing in it, and I feel like that is actually going to be a problem now. It might not have been 10 years ago, but I think now maybe it is. So what I've decided to do is change the premise. I'm going to take out the swearing, and I'm going to have it where it's slightly different, where there's blanks on there, so you can fill in the blanks. Because at the moment you just read the cards. There's no sort of... Anyway, I'm doing it slightly different. So there's those people. So again, that's almost finished. That's almost finished. And then I've also... So I've not been working on those because they're kind of there. But I have been working on my Devilish Deaths. Devilish Deaths. Now this is a little poster that I made up for the playtesters. Because I've playtested the game about 3 times now. Sally's playtested it. And every time we've playtested it, people have enjoyed themselves. And I can tell it's real. They're not just saying it because they know me. Because again, you have to kind of take that into account. And people have been giving honest feedback. You know, it's not just been all plain sailing. Some people are going, oh, this needs change. You know, I feel like this was a bit like this. And so that's cool. And that's what you want. That's what you want. Murder at the Royal. Can you solve the case? So I do have another playtest session lined up for this Thursday, and it's a 2 to 6 player game. Now, when you playtest, the good thing about playtesting is it can be, well, this isn't the good thing, but it can be quite difficult to find playtesters. Now, luckily, I belong to a playtesting group, and we've been playtesting, you know, the B game. I've been playtesting a few other games with them, one of which I can't really, well, 2 of which I can't really talk about. But I will be asking them to playtest this game. But it will take up the whole session, so they're going to have to be very dedicated to it. And this is, I think I've shown you this. This is the new board. It's only got 12 rooms. It's got 12 rooms. These are all the witness cards. So you put all the witness cards, and that's when you read a witness card, you know, that's what they say. That's the statements that they tell you. That's the information they tell you. But also what's new from the previous board is you can put the tokens on. These are the actual witness tokens. So you can have, because some of them don't start on the board straight away. And then you've got all the other cards. You've got the hunch cards, the hint card, the power deduction cards. You've got the hints, where we've got clues, forensics. It's all there. It's all there. Now, one of the things that I'm mainly looking out for this, and also when you playtest games, and Jonathan will know this, when you ask someone to playtest your game book, it's a good idea to sort of say, this is the feedback that I'm looking for. Because they might tell you about spelling mistakes and stuff like that, and you're like, well, I'm all right with that because I'm getting a proofreader to do that. However, obviously that's always handy if they spot it. But I always think it's good to give, you know, fairly clear instructions to playtesters about what you're actually looking for. Because each time you playtest it, you might be looking for something different. So, for example, Devilish Deaths, when I was first playtested it, 2 things. A, was it enjoyable to play? B, did the mechanics work? And C, three things. Was the murder mystery, the actual murder mystery, the case, was that too easy to solve or too difficult to solve or somewhere in the middle? You know, what was that like? So I was looking for as much feedback on everything as possible. Then the next time I playtested it, I knew that the case pretty much worked. So I wasn't too bothered about that. It was more about the mechanics, because I was changing the mechanics. And did that work? And also, did they still enjoy it? And then once we resolved some of the mechanics, then it was about balancing the game. So you get prestige points throughout the game. And it's like, was there too many prestige points? Was it too easy to gain prestige points? Was it too difficult? Did you find that there could be more? So again, you start balancing it on that one. So what I'm looking for this time round is, how long does the game take to play? Is it too long? So if it's a 2-3 hour game, was that fine? Was that okay? If you spent 30-40 quid on this game and there's 3 cases that are going to take you 2 to 3 hours each, that's potentially 2, 4, 6 to 9 hours worth of gameplay. Is that value for money if you spent 30 quid, 40 quid? So I would argue yes, it is. And then it's down to the publisher. So if I'm happy with it's a 2 to 3 hour game, is the publisher then going to be happy with it? Are they going to think that it's very, it's too long? Oh, no one will sit there for that amount of time. Well, believe you and me, people do sit there for that amount of time. It's hard, as Jonathan's put it, it's hard to find good playtesters. Yeah. I've sent games to people to playtest and never heard from them again. Yeah. Others say it's amazing, but then it's less helpful than the pedant who picks out the grammatical escapes and quirks in the rules. Yeah, which is why I'm leaning towards now, Jonathan, and I might do this with my game book. Give them a little checklist. This is what I'm looking for, and maybe give them like a like a 1 to 10. Was it too easy to play? 10 being too hard, 1 being too easy, or 1 to 5. Don't want to bamboozle them. It could be that, yeah, and then it's like, was the story exciting enough? Do you see what I mean? So you're kind of gleaning the information from them that you particularly want, rather than, and you could even put, don't worry about the grammatical errors, that's fine, I'm getting it proofread at the top, because then you won't get people saying that. However, I don't know, it kind of is nice sometimes, because, they may well have spotted something. Like my error, when it was roll 2 dice. Roll 2 dice and see what incantation spell you get. And then I've put 1. Scroll of small vigour. How can you roll 1 when you've rolled 2 dice, you idiot? So, yeah. But yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. So I'm now leaning towards maybe giving them some sort of clear little grid for them to, tick. And then also say, any comments, just run, just give them free range to type comments, to write comments. I would be a pick your own goosebumps. What? While I would be an Ian game book. What? I don't get this. 10. I don't get that, Librin. I must have said something that's triggered that. So yeah, so there is also a guy called Adam in Wales. That's not his name, obviously. His YouTube channel is called Adam in Wales. And he is a games designer, and he has loads of videos about designing games. He's got about 7 or 8 games published himself, and they're normally quite quick card games. He likes party games, but he delves into all types of games. And he's just, I've not got it yet, but I think I will. He's just got a book out called Playtesting, like how to get the most out of your playtesters. And be clear about why you're playtesting. So I'm going to get hold of that. Sorry, I'm typing on a loaded train. Oh, I see. 1 to Sken's scale of difficulty. Yeah. Oh, I see. Yes. I would be a pick your own goosebumps, while I would be an Ian game book. 10. 1 to 10 scale. Sorry. I think I understand what you vaguely mean there, Librin. But yes, no worries. Yeah, so Ian's would be 10, yeah, for difficulty levels. Yeah, because, in a game book, you could be very specific and say, do you felt you died too many times? Was there enough skill tests? Did you run out of gold too easily? Or were you frustrated with the amount of gold you had? Do you know what I mean? So you could be quite specific with that. And I probably would say that the playtesters would like that, because he's saying, one. He's saying one, not one. Oh. Well, one would be an Ian game book. Yeah, I'm not very bright, Sally. I don't know. I don't understand. Just tell me. Just tell me. Oh, I think I'm confusing things. Yeah. As you always do, Sally. As you always do. No. Stop bullying Sally. You stay out of it. I've gone mad. Gocklesnake, is this you? He's just cast Spell of Doppelganger on me. So one change that I did put, again, and playtesting opens your eyes because there's stuff that happens that you hadn't thought of. So, for example, you know, if you're running the playtest and you're telling them the rules, there's certain things that you know, obviously, like how to play the game. But there'll be certain things that you've discovered. So, for example, when I first playtested it, I knew who the murderer was, obviously, but I hadn't written out something for the players to read out if I wasn't about. You know, that's the whole point. So blind playtesting is very useful as well, where you don't read out the instructions or you don't explain the game. They just pick up your rule book and try and play the game via your rule book. So what I did was I've written out all the witnesses have got their own envelope, yeah? All the witnesses have got their own envelope. And so, what you do at the end, you have 3 guesses throughout the game, throughout 24 turns. And you might go, oh, it's Donald Saxby. Let's have a look. And then you open the envelope, it's going to be sealed. And then it will say guilty or it will say innocent. And then you read why they did or didn't do it. So you've got 3 chances. You've got 3 chances. And then the other playtest, I thought, oh, if they guess, how are they going to know, and they get it wrong 3 times, how are they going to know who the murderer is? They'll have to open up all the envelopes, which is a bit boring. You know, it's is it this one? Is it this one? Is it... So, yesterday I created a police report. And inside it, you flip that up and then it will say what the police did actually discover and who the murderer is and why they did it, etc, etc. So again, there's always something that might crop up that you hadn't thought about in playtesting. So I'm very excited about that. And the other thing is, it's a 2 to 6 player game, and if you're playtesting a game rather than a game book, then you do ideally want to play test it at many player count, because playing it at 2 player might be a very different experience when you play it at 6 player. It normally is, but you've got to make sure it kind of works at all the player count. So I have play tested this, I think, with 5 players, so that was good. There was a lot of people involved, and that worked. And again, it took about 2 to 3 hours. And I've play tested it with 3 players, and that took about 2 to 3 hours. So again, it's kind of being consistent. This Thursday, when I'm playtesting this again, I might only have 2 players, but then that's fine because it's just, I'm advertising it as a 2 to 6 player. So it'd be nice if some more players would come along and play it, but it's not the end of the world if they don't. Solo, I think this game will be too long if it's solo because you've got a lot of cards to get through. I mean, you could do it, but it would take you about 4, 5, maybe 6 hours to do it. It's not surprising that the director of Dark Souls proudly claims that growing up with Japanese translation of Ian game books, is that his name? Ian game books. Ian's game books had influence on his pursuers' hard but fair gameplay. Yeah, okay, that's interesting that he noted that. Yeah. Are the envelopes resealable for future sessions with different friends? Oh, okay, that's a good idea. Oh, I've got a delivery. Bear with me. Oh, wasn't expecting this today. Hello, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Cheers. And Merry Christmas. Ooh, Mama. Look at these. Look at this. Oh, Should we do live unboxing? I've forgotten what they are, to be honest. I was expecting these tomorrow. God, Amazon are good, aren't they? Oh, those envelope resealable. That is a good point. I hadn't thought about that. You could reseal them. Because my thinking was it's a one-shot deal. Because once you play it with your friends, that's it. However, you could just lend the game to someone else. I'll have to think about that. Yeah, is it? Can you get resealable envelopes? That'd be cool if you could. Or maybe little magnets. Maybe little magnets. Little seal, you know, like the wax seal, that they could actually be magnets. Oh, Lee Rin, thank you so much for that. Slightly scared to open this live on a live stream, but anyway, let's do it. Yay, look at that bad boy. It's a 7-port USB hub. Get in there. Exciting. That's what we like. That's what we like. I did also order something else. And, look, Amazon, look at them getting all festive with their festive tape. It's a big box, isn't it? Now, I'd love to say that this was an actual board game, but I've had to sort of slow down buying board games because I've run out of space on my shelves. But this is... Oh, hello. Look at that. It's my friend Bruno Mark. They chopped him up, they've put him in a box. Just a warning, this could happen to you. Look at this. Does anyone know Bruno Mark? I've never heard of these. Look, little bags, look. Look at these bad boys. Woo, mama. Look. Oh, look, they've even wrapped up the little metal buckle. That's really cool of them. Look at this. Now, I've not bought a pair of new shoes. 2022 was the last time I bought a new pair of shoes. So that's not bad, is it? But my trainers, and they were trainers, have started to fall about. Velcro does wonders with costumes back in high school. Yeah, exactly. Velcro might not work. That might be too fiddly on an envelope. Might be too heavy-handed, but a magnet might be quite cool. Fancy, I know, look at this. Now, I've got a murder mystery this evening, and I thought, oh, because they were due to arrive tomorrow. Look at that. Oh, I didn't realise it even got a zip. Look at this. Flappy. Talking of Scottish, look. Scottish innards. That's like me. I've got an English accent, but I've got Scottish innards. Yeah, I'm liking these. And these were pretty good for Amazon, honestly. $32.99. $32.99. That's pretty good. That is very good. I don't know how I'm going to put my foot in it, though. Those envelopes that you seal by winding thread around a card disc. Oh, I see. Yeah, you could do that, Jonathan. That's another... What, just sort of like this? Is this what you mean? You know, where you have like a little weighted bit. Is this what you mean? We just sort of do that. Are they cushioned? Haggis. Just randomly shout out, haggis! They are cushioned. And they've got an arch. That was my main concern, because I've got an arch in my foot. Both feet, not just one. That'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it? So I need shoes that have got arches, otherwise they cause me trouble. They cause me trouble. Oh, and I bought these because I can wear these at murder mysteries, because they look like they're shoes. They're like dress shoes. So trousers will kind of cover that. So I can kind of get away with wearing these, I think. Here's an image from Shutterstock. Oh, let me have a quick look then. This is all getting out of control, isn't it? Let me get my laptop, because I feel like if I push the link on my phone, it might cut the live stream. Which some people might say that's a good thing, you know. Yeah, I know what you like. Oh, it shows nothing if not slick. Right, let's have a quick look. Yeah, my uploading. It's just not uploading to Amazon it's frustrating. I knew this would happen. Oh, right. Anyway, don't get distracted. So let me go to. Oh, this is going to be weird. I'm going to watch myself. Although I do that when I do gameplay. Right. So Twitch. Edra Tales. Right. Let's have a look. This is a bit meta. Looking down there, looking there. Right. Oh, there's the link. There's the link. Bosh. Oh, those ones. Yes, with the two little yes. Yeah. Oh, they already exist then, don't they? Look, you can get 10 images. Oh no, I thought it was 10 envelopes for £1.90. Nice one, Jonathan. Yeah, that is a good idea. I think I'm going to buy those then. Amazon! Let's have a quick look. This show has gone downhill. When I was doing the bottled imp, I was much more professional. What do I call them? String shut envelopes? Documents enclosed. What are they called? That's not them. All I'm getting is bloody Christmas tags. Craft paper without thread string closure. What are they called, people? Help an old man out. Not as old as Jonathan though. Oh, I put spring. That's probably why, because I'm an idiot. There they are. I've got them. Oh, they're beautiful. Look at that. So mine are A5, are they? Yeah. 12. Pack of 10 is like 13 quid. Bosh. Right, I'll order some of those. Although it'd be nice to have them white, wouldn't it? Can you get them? Oh, you can get them fancy. So when I pitch this to a publisher, it'd be good to. Yeah, I'm going to upgrade the prototype quality, hopefully. Or you can get them in black. Oh, for it's 12 quid. Folder project. Oh, is that a folder though? Oh no, that's a folder. Anyway, you didn't tune in to watch me look at Amazon stuff. We didn't do that. Watch out in the wind. Yes. Oh, Sally's off. Fascinating though to watch the supermarket. Yeah. Thank you, Sally, for watching. Yes. Have fun at the supermarket. So, there we go. That's brilliant. Thank you, guys. That's, again, just that little nugget. Just that little nugget there of improvement. Because I do think when you're pitching to somebody, the more professional your prototype looks, the better. Although that's not necessarily, if it doesn't look amazing, they're not necessarily going to be put off by that. Because if it's a game, they're looking for is the gameplay. Is it a good game? Because they will do the artwork. They will make it look good. That's part of their job. But yeah, nice touch. Thank you, guys, because then you can just seal them back up again. That's nothing, says Sally. We're off to a festive weekend. It's an outdoor museum later. Didn't check the weather before I booked the tickets. Oh well. Well, is it Wizard of Oz? Is it Mary Poppins? Get blown away. Yes, that wasn't brilliant planning. But then that's my sort of planning. I don't look at the weather when I plan stuff. I just go, oh, right. What's the weather like when I look out the window? It seemed to be a bit windy this morning. But that might have been after me breakfast. But it seems to have quietened down here. I don't think in Hertfordshire we're going to get too much of this wind. It is a bit drizzly and a bit rainy, but... So there we are. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. Mythics. So that's kind of what I've been working on. Just kind of... I've got three to four projects that I'm kind of bouncing along with. Just updating, you know, and each progress. That's the other thing. It's very easy. I find it very easy to get frustrated with the lack of progress that I make. However, as long as you are making progress, then you will finish a project. It's really windy down here. I'm not surprised. Gusts of wind 60 to 90 miles per hour. Holy mackerel. We've had alerts on our phones saying not to go out. Yes, I read about that on the news. Conker's walk this morning was interesting. Conker's walk. Did he fly? He said the first super mutt. Did he fly? Was he like, yeah, that's all right. Can't wait to meet the British Museum Brontosaurus again in my hometown when they finish assembling him on the 22nd. That is going to be amazing. So you've already seen it. It is amazing because he's been on tour now, or she. Is it a male dinosaur? For the past 10 years, I think. We've got this massive fish. Have we got like a massive whale that's in there now? It's like a huge... I can't remember. But I do remember taking my son to see the Brontosaurus a good couple of times. And it is so overwhelming. It's amazing. The Natural History Museum in London is just breathtaking. Just the building alone is just amazing. They don't make buildings like that anymore. And they should. They should. I guess, and also, actually, you've just tipped onto one of my loves and passions is medieval buildings, or those, I know it's not necessarily medieval, but buildings of that sort of stature, you know, churches, grand buildings. And I feel like that's part of the draw of writing medieval fantasy, is actually the aesthetics of it, you know, of those buildings. So there we go. Anyway, right, we better wrap this up because I've got some shoes to try on. Shall I try them on? Let's try this one on. Ooh, that feels good. You can't see it, but it feels good. Feels good. That fits good. You never know when you just order them online. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. It's lovely to chat to you guys again. And for coming up with those ideas about the, you know, resealable envelopes that then rift off. I thought magnets, but then Jonathan said, oh yeah, you can just get the string ones. Of course you can just get the string ones. And also, you see, it's little things like that if you introduce into your prototype before you pitch to a publisher, that when you do pitch to the publisher, they might not have thought of that in the production value because it's a little bit thinking outside the box, outside the game box. So if it's already into the prototype, they can go, oh, that's clever, you can reseal it. And then you could still sell the game. If you want to sell the game as well, it still can be sold on. Because you don't mark the cards, you don't, you know, it's not a legacy game as such where you rip them open and you can never play it again. So if we reseal the envelopes, then yeah, you could sell the game, the base game on if you wanted to. Not that you'd want to, obviously. Anyway, Lirin, yes, thank you so much. Good night, Lirin. Thank you for watching. Hope you feel better soon, Martha. Big hugs. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Jonathan. Always a pleasure. And little Coco. Not Coco, that's Sally's cat. Little Conker. What's that? Selling on isn't an ideal situation for the publisher. Yes, no, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. However, it could be potentially a selling point. It's a selling point from a buyer's point of view, though. I'm just trying to think, because if I bought, say, Dead of Winter, I know that if I don't want to play it anymore and I want to sell it, I know I can. The legacy games, like Legacy Pandemic, I think you rip envelopes open, don't you? So once it's all kind of done, and I think you destroy cards, there's some games where you actually rip cards up and things like that, then you can't sell that on. So you really do have to get your value for money. So yeah, so it is kind of a selling point, but not really. It's like a hidden selling point. But anyway, good. Yeah, thanks for that, Jonathan. That's a good point. Maybe I ought not to say that. But to reuse it, though, because you can say that, you know, like Lirin said about, if I've played it with my mates, somebody else might want to play it in your gaming group, and you go, oh, I'll lend it to you if you want. And then you could, you know, just... Although, again, as a publisher, you'd want them to buy their own game. Anyway, I don't know. It seems like a good idea. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for throwing the spanner in the works right at the end. Hey, no, thanks, Jonathan, for watching. Thank you for everybody that watched. Thank you, Martha. Thank you, Sally. And I think that's everybody. So once again, it's been a pleasure. And the next live stream will be this Wednesday, where we continue with part 8. This is crazy. Part 8, The Ghost of Craven Manor. We've voted to continue playing. People are that intrigued by it. It's a very good game book by Joseph Daniels. So check that out, 6:30 UK time on the Twitch channel. Until next time, may your thieving never be caught. That's my tagline for my game book. Anyway, nice one, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Miss you already.